Hi guys, welcome back to 1220 Cooking UK. This is Cooking with Izzo. Hi Nika. Finally, you can join one of my streams. Thank you so much for getting the word out there. Today we're going to make a very easy pesto, and I have a great new gadget, so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see two angles. You can see I've got my Magi mix and I've got all my ingredients set out, and I will walk you through how easy it is. Let's switch. So yeah, you get two angles of Izzo. Yeah, today we're making pesto. Pesto can be used for so many things. The most famous way to use pesto is to use it in pasta, but you can also use it for, let's say, a caprese salad, which is tomato and mozzarella. You can use it as a great sandwich filling, and you just put that, some mozzarella on some toasted ciabatta and some dried tomatoes or fresh tomatoes. It's really, really good. So yeah, I just wanted to show you how easy this is. I've been making it for a long time, and my mum was like, "Your pesto is delicious. Why don't you stream it?" So I will. First of all, let's go through the ingredients. This is going to be a traditional pesto, so I'm not going to be doing it with rocket. I'm not going to be doing it with spinach. I'm doing it with basil. We've got our basil here. Another important ingredients are Parmigiano. Ooh, you should be able to say it, Parmesan cheese and pecorino cheese. Pecorino cheese is cheese made from pecora, which means sheep. So it's sheep cheese. It's an easy way of putting it. Then we've got some pine nuts, untoasted. I'm excited that you don't know what it is, so I'm going to teach you. And then I can take this out of the bowl because there's no point. A nice clove of garlic. I'm only putting one clove because I know this garlic's quite strong. So know your garlic, which is a really bizarre thing to say, but yeah, know your garlic and know your salt. Know how salty your salt is. And you do that by tasting it. Another important thing is this. This is olive oil straight from Tuscany, from a place called Podere il Tribbio. And they kindly gifted me a few cans. This is a really cute fun size. It's very important to put good olive oil in your pesto because pesto is something you don't cook. So everything you put in needs to be good. So this is one of those dishes where you have to uh, put some good quality ingredients. As I said on my previous stream, put good, take out good. So whatever you put in needs to be good. Um, the next thing, we've got some salt in my little salt pig, which I just found out it's called a salt pig in English. I didn't know what it was called. But yeah, apparently it's called a salt pig. Pesto is actually called pesto because it used to be made with one of these, a mortar and pestle. So the name pesto comes from the action of crushing, pestare. So if you pesto someone, it means to crush. So this is the action that it comes from, but we're not going to use this. I'm so glad you're learning so much, Nika. I'm glad to give you some knowledge. We're not going to be using this because I have a lot of basil, I have a lot of pine nuts, I have a lot of my ingredients, and I want to make a nice size. I want to fill up one of these. And I'll show you also at the end of the stream how to care for your pesto. Is that the right thing? Or how to maintain it, how to keep it. It's not something that will keep forever. It's not something that you're buying in a jar at the supermarket. This is fresh and homemade, and it's so worth it. I find that pastos at the supermarket taste very acidic because they're quite old and the ingredients aren't as good. But if you make it takes just a few minutes, you'll see how quick it is, especially with a blitzer. You can use one of these, hand blender. But the key is because the origin is just to crush, you need to pulse your pesto. You can't just whack it on and then leave it and then walk away, go and do something else. You have to pulse it, which is the key thing here. I'm now going to switch to my different camera angle so you can see how I start off. So yeah, let's go. There we go. It's like the left side of my face. Oh well. But you can see everything here quite clearly. And the first thing I'm going to do is peel my garlic. Let me move these right in front of here so you can see now what I'm doing here. So I'm going to peel my garlic. On the previous stream, I said, always crush your garlic. And that is the case if you're cooking it. Pesto is not something you cook. Pesto is something you have fresh. And that's why as well, it's so important to have all your ingredients be really good and fresh. So let me finish peeling this garlic. I'm going to get a different knife. This is a cheese knife. I'll show it to you. And I'll use that for my cheese, but not for my garlic. Okay, here's a small knife. All we need to do is cut off the end. And I like to slice it in half, just to help out the blender a little bit. And I'm going to pop it in, tack, done, into my. The next thing I'm going to do is to clean up this mess before my mom shouts at me. Cook clean, everyone. It's much, much better. And you don't have to tidy up so much afterwards. I'm not wearing my apron today as well because I'm feeling quite brave. And I feel like I'm not going to mess up my clothes. But we'll see. Next, we've got Parmesan cheese. You can see that's Parmesan cheese. It's darker compared to your pecorino cheese. There you go. So I'm going to do my Parmesan cheese first. And I'm using about this size piece. And what we're going to do to help out our blender is to chop it up into smaller pieces. We need to help everybody out. We need to help our blender. We need to, he's helping us. Let's help him. There we go. So I've cut it up into slices, but now I'm going to do it into little cubes. It helps if your cheeses are room temperature. This makes them less hard, obviously. And also, any cheese you eat, try and bring it down to room temperature because the flavor does change. Strangely enough, when things are cold, like ice cream or sorbet or anything, they need more flavor in them because the coldness dumbs down your taste buds. So anything that you're going to eat, Parma ham, cheese, mozzarella, take it out of the fridge slightly before you're going to consume it. And you'll see the flavor difference is incredible. It just goes from this to this. So I'm going to put my Parmesan cheese in. I've left some Parmesan cheese also on the side, just in case when I taste it, I notice that I need more Parmesan. Let me put the rest of this in here. And I missed, as you do. Next is pecorino. I like to use equal quantities of both. So put that back in here and chop it up again. If you have any questions on the way, feel free to ask. I don't promise I know everything as usual, but I will give it a good go. To give a little bit of background on pesto, it's from a region in Italy called Liguria. And the most famous city in Italy to make pesto is Genova. But I'm not from there. So, but this is a dish that we all do in Italy because it's just so easy. So that's in chunks. Pop that in. There we go. The next thing I'm going to do is take away the crumbs from here. And prepare my basil. My basil's already been washed. So what I do is, let me spread it out. I've got quite a bit of basil just because I find that basil, which has been imported, has less flavor than fresh basil. If you can get fresh basil, use it because that is absolutely delicious. So I'm taking off the elastic, and I am taking off some of the stems, just the end part of the stems, because they're quite woody. And I'm putting the rest all in here and spread it around a little bit. Stems have flavor too, so don't be shy in using those. So let me do the same for the others and try and be tidy. So removing the stems. You can do this also with Thai basil, because sometimes Italian basil is hard to find. The flavor profile changes slightly, but I mean, it's still quite good. Still much better than buying from the supermarket. I still haven't found a supermarket brand that I would say is equivalent to this. More. So we're filling our blender up quite a bit. As I said, you don't need to, as I said on previous streams, all these recipes I'm doing for some hungry people, but you don't need to make this amount. Just do exactly the same thing in smaller portions. There we go. And we're almost on the last one. And then I'm going to tidy up these stalks, I promise. Okay. So I've kind of opened them up a little bit so that he has a better time trying to mince up the things I've asked him to. Let me tidy up. This is some stray leaves, which I'm going to put in and get rid of my stalks. Notice how I am not blending things in as I go, because as I was saying earlier, I want a chunky finish. I don't want a smooth paste. This is not something that you have as a smooth paste. This is definitely something chunky. Next thing I'm going to add about 3/4 of these pine nuts. They are untoasted. Some people say to toast your pine nuts. This is not the way you do it. You do it untoasted, and because they add a great texture, they have their natural oils inside, so they help to emulsify the pesto. So let me put some of those in. I'm holding back on a little bit of everything apart from the basil, because you need to taste as you go, and it's important to adjust whilst you're tasting. So if I were to put everything in, then I wouldn't have anything to add. And I'm going to put a little bit of this fantastic olive oil. Again, good olive oil is very important for this dish, because, as I said, you're not cooking it. At most, you're warming it with your pasta. So it's very important to have good olive oil because you're tasting it, contributing to the taste of your pesto. So if you want it to taste nice, put nice things inside. There we go. I'm excited to use this olive oil. It smells really good. Good olive oil makes such a good difference. And this is, as I was saying earlier, from Tuscany, from a place called Podere il Tribbio. which is in San Giovanni d'Asso. And if you guys are interested, they have villas out there that you can rent, and you can go truffle hunting. They teach you about olive oil. It's really great. So if you want to have like an escape to the country, it's fantastic. And they actually have an Instagram page called Pasqui Villas. I will write it in the uh, so you know how to spell it. And this is a very awkward way to type. There you go. Pasqui Villas. And yeah, if you want to have a great time in the Tuscan countryside, go and give them a look at. I went last year and I absolutely loved it. And I can't go this year, unfortunately, due to global pandemic. But I will be returning next year because I had just such a good time. But yeah, I'll post it also on my Instagram profile. Nika, we had a fresh basil plant, but it kept dying. Yeah, it's very, very hard to keep a basil plant alive. The important thing is if it's in the ground, it needs to be watered. It needs quite a bit of water and sunlight. But if it's cut as well, it doesn't need sunlight. So keep it out of sunlight if you've cut it. But I think these plants that they give you that you can buy in the supermarket, they're just not made to last. But if you have a small garden, try and grow some because it makes such a huge difference. I planted some last year and I made a hybrid because I planted it next to a mint plant. So I made like this weird basil mint, which was actually quite nice. I used it for a couple of cocktails, which was really nice. I made like a mojito with basil and mint. That was really good. But that was completely by accident. I've created a new plant. So I've put some olive oil. I'm only putting some for now, one for flavor, but two also to lubricate everything because we've only put dry ingredients in. And then now I'm going to put a small pinch of salt. Because remember, we're getting salt also from Parmesan cheese and from pecorino cheese. So I'm putting a pinch of salt um, to obviously add some flavor, but I'm going to have to check that in a bit. I'm going to turn down my microphone level because I realize I'm standing right next to a blitzer, which is going to be very loud. So I'm going to turn down my microphone levels. And let's see. I think I'm whispering now. Okay, be careful. As you can see, I'm pulsing, and it's slowly being chopped up, and I'm going to keep on doing it until the pieces are finer. So for some reason, my camera has disappeared. I don't know why. Um, so now what I'm going to do, I've pulsed it a little bit, and with a handy spatula, I'm going to bring everything down again. The smell is incredible because you can smell all those ingredients that have been crushed up. But as you can see, it's not a paste. It's like a thick, kind of grainy thing. But we're going to go a little bit thinner and make sure as well that all our pieces are broken up. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. Let's see with my phone if that other camera's working. It is not. Great. I love technical difficulties. So I'm getting all that goodness back in there. And putting this to the side. And I'm adding some more olive oil. This is all done you just need to look at it. You need to look at it and see, okay, does it need to be thinner? Does it need to be thicker? You need to make those decisions yourself, unfortunately, but I'll show you the end product so you know where you need to get to. Uh, oh no, webcam. Yeah, I know. I know my webcam. I just bought it for Black Friday as well, and it's died already. It's saying it's on, so I don't know what the issue is. I'm going to turn the microphone down again, just for this. That looks very nice. At this point, we have, I'll show you where we are. We're still relatively thick, but what we're going to do now is taste it. And for health and safety reasons, what I do is I take some on a clean spoon and taste it. Okay, so at this point, you know what's inside, and you think, okay, what else? What else do I need? So I need a little bit more salt, but this we definitely knew was gonna be needed. Excuse me. Let me put this on the side. Add some more salt. I'm not gonna add any more cheese because you could taste the cheese quite well, which is good. And the garlic is perfect too. I like mine quite garlicky. Um, and I'm kind of glad there's a pandemic so I can put a face mask on so nobody can tell I've been eating garlic. I'm going to put some more of this delicious olive oil. Do it like that. Perfect. And I'm going to put some more pine nuts. I'm going to put the rest of these pine nuts in. There we go. Yeah, I hope it's not a broken camera. I think it might be a stream issue, but it was showing up fine earlier. Let me test it out again. Yeah, doesn't want doesn't want to cooperate with me. I'm going to turn my microphone down again to save your ears. I'm going to give it one last taste, but to me it looks quite good. Oops. Make sure everything is incorporated. It is finer chunks now, but it's chunks. It's not a smooth paste. As I said, we weren't looking for a smooth paste. Let me give this another taste. I'm just going to add a little bit more salt, and I think we're done. When we finish, I will show you exactly how to store your pesto because I've got a little trick for that. Let me put some more salt. And give it one last blitz, but a very short one because it's just to incorporate the salt. Let me turn my microphone down. Done. How long did that take? That was nothing. Okay, there's a bit of cleaning up, but I'm sure you can find somebody in your household to clean up for you. Because I have a deal, right, with my family. My deal is I cook, you clean. Also because they're better at making, in cleaning. So now we've completed our pesto. I want to put it in this jar. I'm going to point my camera down just a little bit so you can see what's happening. There we go. And you can see my head too. Nice. I remove first the blade and try and clean that up as well as possible. And I'm going to pop it in the sink. Gave it a quick rinse too. And now, without spilling it, try, I'm going to place it in my jar. I'm concentrating so hard on not spilling anything. It's me being lazy because I don't want to clean up pesto from my worktop. This isn't skill. This is just laziness at its best. Let's see. Can we get it in without? We're almost there. And we want to get everything. That's why I'm using a spatula, by the way. I'm using a spatula so I can clean the sides really, really well. Okay, let's clean these sides. And try and scrape everything off because we spent good money on this dish. We don't want to waste anything. We don't want to feed the drain. We want to feed ourselves. Don't feed the drain. Okay, let's get everything else inside. There we go. And we can put this to soak too. I've got a handy paper towel. I'm going to clean the edges. And clean. I spilled one drop. One drop. I wish they made blenders with spouts, but I'm not sure how you'd stop everything from coming out while it blends. Yeah, I know. Maybe they could do like a spout and then the lid covers the spout while blending. So the lid stays the same and it's just long enough to cover the spout. I wish the same. But we were successful without losing too much of our lovely pesto. Okay, now I told you that I had a nice tip for storage. So what you do is you tap your hand underneath and try and flatten out the top of your pesto. So now everything is at an even level. Yeah, we need to patent the idea. We can make the Nika Izzo blender. So what we're going to do now is seal our pesto. And how do we seal our pesto? Well, the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way of sealing food and food storage is either to put a layer of butter and then, so you've seen maybe some pate, it's got layers of butter and it's sealed, it stays good. We are using the Italian version, which is doing the same thing, but with olive oil. So you drizzle your olive oil very, very slowly, and you'll see, because our pesto is nice and thick, it layers on top. So I'll bring that closer for you so you can. So that's why when I'm making this this pesto, I refrain on using too much olive oil. So here, let me get nice and close. You can see it. We've got a layer of olive oil on top. I've added quite a bit, but it's the smaller part of my jar. But yeah, this is how you store your olive oil, your pesto. I'm also going to seal it with its lid, but this will make it last 2 to 3 days, so which is quite good for a fresh product. Let me close it up, and there we go. We need olive oil that keeps track of every time you use more olive. Yes, yes! Exclamation mark olive oil. Absolutely. I'm gonna work on this stream, and I'm gonna put some commands in um, so that you guys can interact with me a bit more. And hopefully one day I'll even have mods, which will be great. But yeah, I think that I've shown you everything I could show you with this pesto. And what my message is for you guys is just to cook with love. Put love into everything you do, especially food, because it really shows. It's the special ingredient, isn't it? And yeah, thank you so much for joining the stream, and thank you so much, especially to Nika, who's been keeping me company. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'd love to see the pesto you make. Um, yeah, see you on the next stream. I leave the stream with new knowledge of pesto, salt pigs, and olive oil. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I could give you more information. And anytime you guys have questions on stream, feel free to ask. And yeah, have a lovely day. And I will be posting a picture of some pasta with some pesto, maybe. See you soon, and remember to cook with love. Bye, guys.